Tonight, we investigate a transformation so profound it has left the music industry in a state of absolute disbelief. As the holiday lights flicker across the country this December 2025, one voice seems to be echoing louder than the rest, yet the man behind it is someone many of us barely recognize anymore. We are reporting on the incredible resurgence of Jonathan Antoine, a name that first captured our collective hearts over a decade ago as a shy, trembling teenager on a global talent stage. But the person standing before us today isn't that same nervous boy. He has emerged this season as a powerhouse of vocal precision and physical stamina, following a period of what many insiders called a total vanishing act from the public eye. For months, rumors swirled about his whereabouts and his health, with fans fearing the worst as he retreated into a self-imposed exile. What he was actually doing in that time, however, was preparing for the most significant comeback in modern classical history. The Voice of 2025 is not just a title given by critics. It is a testament to a man who decided to rewrite his own ending before the industry could do it for him. As we look closer at the footage from his recent holiday specials, the change is staggering. He carries himself with a newfound authority, a stark contrast to the days when he seemed to want to disappear into the floorboards of the stage. This isn't just a story about a singer releasing a Christmas album. It's a report on the radical reclamation of a human life that was nearly lost to the pressures of overnight stardom. Tonight, we peel back the curtain on the trials, the secrets, and the shocking discipline that brought Jonathan Antoine back from the brink to become the literal sound of Christmas hope for millions of families across the globe. But behind the standing ovations and the gold records, a much darker reality was simmering, one that almost led to a permanent silence. To understand the Jonathan Antoine of 2025, we have to report on the shattering that occurred behind the scenes years prior. Sources close to the singer reveal that the transition from a bullied schoolboy to a global sensation was not the fairy tale it appeared to be on television. In fact, the BGT effect created a paradox where the more the world loved his voice, the more Jonathan struggled with his own existence. Our investigation into his early career highlights a period of intense internal conflict, where the singer faced what he described as dreadful thoughts regarding his own worth. During the height of his initial fame, there were whispers of a severe mental health crisis, where the pressure to perform and the constant scrutiny of his physical appearance led to a downward spiral. He was dealing with the weight of being the big guy with the big voice, a label that began to feel like a cage. We've learned that there were moments where he considered walking away from music entirely, not because he lost his passion, but because the industry's demands were eating him alive. This period of his life was marked by a deep sense of isolation, where even his closest collaborators couldn't see the depth of his internal battle. He has since alluded to darker impulses, and a struggle to find a reason to step onto the stage each night, a revelation that has shocked the fanbase that saw him only as a beacon of joy. The bravery it took to navigate those years, while being haunted by the echoes of childhood bullying, is what makes his current stability so remarkable. It wasn't just his career that was at stake. It was his very survival in a world that often discards its stars as soon as they show a hint of vulnerability or human flaw. The biggest secret to his success wasn't found in a vocal coach's studio, but in a medical diagnosis that changed everything he thought he knew about himself. In a groundbreaking move for transparency in the arts, Jonathan recently went public with a revelation that has redefined his entire career trajectory: his diagnosis of autism. For years, the public and the media labeled his stage fright and his eccentric behavior as mere nerves or artistic temperament. However, our reporting reveals that Jonathan spent nearly 3 decades living in a world that felt out of sync. This diagnosis, which he received as an adult, acted as a Rosetta Stone for his life. It explained the sensory overload of the bright stage lights, the difficulty with social cues in high-pressure interviews, and the deep, almost obsessive connection he has with music. Experts say that for someone in Jonathan's position, This realization is often the difference between burnout and a breakthrough. By understanding that his brain simply processes information differently, he was able to stop masking and start living authentically. This news didn't just stay in the medical files, it translated directly into his performances. If you listen to his 2025 recordings, there is a precision and a raw emotional honesty that wasn't there before. He is no longer fighting against his nature, he is leaning into it. This transparency has sparked a massive wave of support from the neurodivergent community, turning him into an accidental icon for those who have felt othered by society. It's a powerful narrative shift, from a boy who was different and therefore mocked, to a man who is different and therefore extraordinary. This section of his life serves as a reminder that sometimes the disorder the world sees is actually the source of a person's greatest strength, provided they are given the space to understand it. Despite the years that have passed, the question still lingers. What really happened to the duo that the world thought was inseparable? For many, the name Jonathan Antoine is forever linked to Charlotte Jaconelli. Their split years ago sent shockwaves through the industry, with tabloid speculation suggesting everything from bitter feuds to secret romances gone wrong. However, our investigative look into the 2025 landscape shows a much more professional, albeit heartbreaking, reality. The duo was a product of a specific moment in reality TV history, a lightning-in-a-bottle pairing that was curated for maximum emotional impact. But as they grew, so did the divergence in their artistic visions. Sources reveal that the pressure from the label to remain the duo was immense, effectively stifling their individual growth. Jonathan, in particular, was being pushed toward a specific image that didn't align with his developing identity. The split wasn't a falling out in the traditional sense, but rather a desperate move for self-preservation. While fans have spent years clamoring for a reunion, Jonathan has remained firm on his solo path, emphasizing that his current success is a result of finally standing on his own 2 feet. There is a sense of untold stories regarding the legal and contractual battles that followed their separation, the quiet wars fought in boardrooms far away from the cameras. Even now, in 2025, the shadow of that partnership follows him, but he has handled it with a grace that suggests he has moved far beyond the need for a protective partner. He has proven that he is not just one half of a successful act, but a singular force capable of carrying a global brand on his own shoulders. The mystery of their relationship remains a favorite topic for speculation, but the evidence shows that the divorce was the best thing that ever happened to his vocal development and his personal agency. While many stars turn to quick fix surgeries or controversial weight loss shots, Jonathan Antoine's 2025 look was built on a foundation of grit that most people would find impossible. The most visually striking aspect of Jonathan's return this Christmas is his physical health. Our reports confirm that he has undergone a massive weight loss journey, dropping over 5 stone, but it's the how that is truly compelling. In an era where miracle drugs dominate the headlines, Jonathan reportedly took the road less traveled. He committed to a grueling regimen of walking 10,000 steps every single day, regardless of the weather or his touring schedule. This wasn't about vanity. It was about taking back control of a body that he felt had betrayed him during his years of depression. Witnesses who have seen him in rehearsals this year describe a man with boundless energy, a far cry from the performer who used to struggle with the physical demands of a 2-hour set. This transformation has had a direct impact on his lung capacity and his vocal control, allowing him to hit notes that were previously out of reach. But the shocking part of this story is the mental discipline required to maintain such a change while under the spotlight. He has been vocal about the fact that the claw back was painful and slow, deliberately avoiding the easy way out to prove to himself that he was capable of change. This has added a layer of warrior energy to his persona. He isn't just a singer anymore, he's an athlete of the arts. His story has become a source of inspiration for those struggling with holiday weight or health issues. as he stands as living proof that significant life changes are possible through consistent, small actions rather than drastic, dangerous interventions. As the final notes of the year ring out, it's clear that Jonathan Antoine has become more than a performer. He has become a symbol of what it means to survive and thrive. This Christmas 2025, the airwaves are filled with his voice, but the resonance is different this time. There is a weight to his performance of "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" that feels like a collective exhale for a public that has seen its fair share of global and personal turmoil. Our analysis of his current Christmasland brand shows that he has tapped into something deeper than mere holiday cheer. He has tapped into the concept of resilient joy. People aren't just buying his albums for the music. They are buying into the idea that you can be broken, bullied, and lost, and still come out the other side stronger. His concerts this season have been described as emotional marathons, where the audience is often moved to tears not just by the beauty of the arias, but by the sheer presence of the man on stage. He represents the outsider who finally found his place, the nervous kid who became a king. As we close this report, the impact of Jonathan Antoine's journey serves as a powerful reminder for the holiday season. In a world that often feels fractured, his voice acts as a bridge, connecting the pain of the past with the hope of the future. He is the voice that brings hope this holiday season because he is a living testament to the fact that the most beautiful songs are often written in the aftermath of the storm. Whether or not he ever reunites with his past or changes his style again, one thing is certain. Jonathan Antoine has found his voice, and this time, the world is finally listening to what he actually has to say.